We call it farmsteading
Okay.
because we're on. We have a large piece of property,
They've
and
got a
we've
lot.
been here since. We'll be here. Well, it's 19 years. Well, we've owned it for 19 years. We've owned it for 20 years this December. So,
Okay.
and we've lived here 17 years.
Thank you. And I want to thank
Okay.
everybody for coming in as well. I see we shared it out. Because I see the gardening community, but some of the gardeners have like the bees and some have chickens and some have hens and goats. And I'm like, I
Sorry.
want to know the difference. Like, I guess it's the land, I guess.
What you can, I think it's a mindset. Personally, homesteading is a mindset.
Yes,
You can homestead it in an apartment. You can put a plant
exactly.
in a pot and grow some of your own vegetables. That's you're doing what you can with what you got.
Mhm.
So that's to me
Yeah.
is homesteading is really an all. It's a mindset. You're doing raising what you can with what you have.
Yeah, I agree. We live on 17 acres and we have animals, and I look at it like I'm a homesteader. But I totally agree with what Jerry said. That includes gardening, that includes, putting fencing up and all the things, so canning, preserving, dehydrating, and I did that when we lived in a duplex, so yeah, we lived in Texas and we only had a half acre out there, and that's really where I started, because it was like, I gotta preserve something, I want to learn,
Right.
and so that's where I started diving into it. But you know when we lived in, like I said, in a duplex, we still did the same thing. So it was,
Well, that's why thank you for teaching me because like I'm a city girl. Like my grandparents never gardened and we never had goats and chickens. I
yeah.
don't even know how I got into this community, Jigs. I don't
I
know.
do. I do. I do.
Well, I will tell you,
I
this
never
is,
planted anything before, so okay.
yeah,
Then all of a sudden you start getting seeds and everything. Miss T, put it in the pot. Miss
yeah,
T, do this, do that, and all of a sudden she became a pre-farmer,
Yep.
yeah.
a
Thank you,
gardener.
Family Farm, for keeping up with everybody.
I
So
think
Just
everybody. I'm sorry.
water. Make sure you water it.
I think everybody has homesteading in their blood.
okay.
Some bit,
Yeah,
but you choose if you want to raise your own garden or raise your own vegetables or animals, whatever, or choose not to. If you choose not to, then then you just buy stuff in the store. Then you're not really a homesteader. But if you raise one carrot or one radish, you're at the beginning. You're at the threshold.
Right.
So
yeah,
since I've planted last year, I'm an official gardener. So once I start the canning process and everything, it's just I'm trying to figure.
No,
No,
you're a homesteader now. You're starting to raise your own vegetables.
heck yeah.
So you're a
no, no,
homesteader. You don't
no.
have to necessarily be canning.
She need to
You
raise
know,
some more vegetables first.
It's
well,
never good enough for Jags. Never good enough.
you're your own worst critic.
So like I said, my family never like I've never experienced the farm life. Like, have you guys like your forefathers and ancestors, whatever? Did they bring you into this lifestyle, or was it something that you just always wanted to do?
Well, I'll go first, sorry, Jan. I lived in San Diego, in the suburbs of San Diego, and I just could read the writing on the wall about how things were getting. And I told my wife, "said we need to move." And a friend of mine that I had in San Diego, his family picked up and moved back to Missouri, where his dad was from. And so we came out here a couple of times and visit, and we liked it out here. And so I started looking for land out here. And I'm a hunter, and so I checked. The first thing that I checked into was what the laws were about hunting and stuff. And if you had at that time, you had 75 acres or more, you were given what they call farm tags. Didn't have to have a hunting license. You could hunt. You get farm tags, and you hunt. Whatever the farm tags are for on your land, as long as you want, as long as you can fill those tags. Um, I still bought my license every year because I'm a firm believer of supporting the conservation and so I buy my hunting license no matter what, even though I don't really hunt anyplace else but my own property. So it's like, I buy my upland game stamp even if I don't shoot a single dove, and I buy my duck stamps every year because that's to me a supporting of the wildlife.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we started looking, and we made several trips out here looking for different property. And my friend call me up. I found this. I found this patch. I found 200 acres here. I found 160 acres here. I found 75 acres here. And I had to have a minimum of 75 acres to get your farm tags at that time. Now it's dropped down tremendously amount. But so I was looking for 75 plus, and we found this. We came out here and found this place, and the farmer said that the guy who owned it said it was 90 acres. We looked at it. We wanted to buy the 90 acres. And he said, well, there's 26.6 acres attached to it. Make me an offer on all of it. So I made him an offer on all of it, and he took it. So, and I bought it 2 years before we actually moved here. And when I bought it, it was under not really a contract, but a farmer was farming it for the grass, and he was planting corn and soybeans on it. And they gave me a kickback of a percentage of what they got out of it. So
Nice.
when I moved here, I went to school and I started farming it. And for the first, I'd say the first 10 years, I did soybeans and corn and wheat on the property.
Okay. Jane, how did you become a homesteader?
Oh, just sort of like Jerry, I saw the writing on the wall, and I was like, I had to get out of the city, and I wanted space between my neighbor and I,
Right.
And so we bought that half acre, and my brother had cancer, and we would drive from Texas to Illinois, and every time we came through Missouri, it was like my heart would just pound. I just fell in love with it. And my old friends lived here, and so they took us around a little bit, and we were like, if we're ever going to move anywhere, it's going to be Missouri, right? And so 2 years, all I did was look at houses, and we would come and look at houses, just to get an idea of what was out there. And we weren't ready. My husband's like, we're not ready yet, and I go, okay. And I was like, well, this was something God put on my heart. And I was like, Lord, if this is what you want us to do, it's got to be the boss. We call my husband the boss. And it's got to go through him, because he's the head of our house. And so one day he goes, put the house up for sale. We're going. And I'm like, okay. And we kept coming back to this land over and over and over again. And it has a pond. It's got I call it the barn. My husband calls it the shed. So.
Sarah. Sarah, I'm thinking about Sarah Happy Hives. So I love your story because it's relatable, because I went to the Savannah, Georgia, the expo, and I'm in love with it. So now I'm just like, gotta get there.
Oh, it's gorgeous there. So pretty. And the thing is we both had great jobs. We had really good jobs, and we pretty much sold everything we had except some essentials, and packed up the U-Haul, drove it to the closing, and off we went. Oh no, we didn't take it to the closing. We left it at the house, but it was both my kids are in Texas. They actually moved to where we lived, not our house, but the town. And I'm like, way to go, guys.
So is Jags considered a homesteader now?
What's that?
Is Jags considered a home? What all animals do you have, Jags? What do you?
We have a donkey. We have ducks, chickens, and 3 sheep.
Oh wow! What do you have?
about to get a ram and a wether. And a wether is a sheep that can't do anything. He can't produce. He's been fixed.
Yeah,
Wow.
fixed.
That'll be a pet or something for the freezer.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be for the freezer. He's just there to keep the ram company. And then when that ram runs its cycle and we get lambs from him, we'll sell him or process him and get another one because we're not crossbreeding.
All right.
Hmm.
So, Jags, what do you have?
Okay.
It's easier to say what I don't have. No, we got about 38 head of cattle.
Oh, wow.
17 head of goats. We have 2 horses, 4 donkeys. We have trying to think. We have llamas. We have a couple llamas, and we have dogs and cats, and we have probably, I don't know, close to 20 to 30 chickens.
Yep.
Oh,
So it's easier almost to say what we don't have. We don't have sheep and we don't have pigs. So that's what we don't have.
We did have 2 pigs. We raised one for our friend, and in exchange for them showing us how to butcher. So that was interesting.
We got over 50. We have over 50 people in here. And J3GS Farms, what kind of animals do you have over there?
At this present moment, I've got a lamb at this present moment.
Okay.
But on my farm, I have goats, chickens, bees. Plan on getting rabbits this year. At the end of last year, I got rid of everything. Got rid of all of my animals and everything, because I said I want to start over brand new, and I want to clean off some property. So that's why I got rid of everything, so I didn't have to have anything bother me while I'm trying to do this. And the day after I got rid of all the goats, 4-H called me and said, you need to pick up a lamb. So that's why I still have a lamb here. That's for my grandson. But other than that, I'm trying to clean off all my properties, and then I will have my goats, chickens, rabbits, and bees.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Almost
I want bees.
And like I said, I have a bee guy who brings the bees here, and he drops them off in March and then picks them up in like September, October, before the winter. Because, like I said, I was earlier. I was diagnosed with being allergic to them when I was a kid, but I'm going to go down and get tested to see if I'm still allergic. And I don't know if I hear you can outgrow some allergies, so maybe I can outgrow the bee allergy. I don't know. I'm going to find out. And
on that.
And I had rabbits when I was a kid. I raised rabbits when I put myself through high school raising rabbits. I used to have 300 females.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
You know, and I used to butcher 25 on Saturday and 25 on Sunday for meat rabbits. And at that time, I sold them for $1.25 a pound. That paid for my car insurance, my clothes, all my gasoline. Of course, gasoline was only 25 cents a gallon. You know, so you know that's what how I put myself through high school. I raised my rabbits and stuff. So I'm going to go back to rabbits this year too. I'm going to build myself a rabbitry and give myself like, you know, I don't know, 5 or 6 rabbits. That'd be it.
So do you guys slaughter like all the animals that you guys have on the land, or just
what?
Do you like you say you do eat the rabbits and you eat?
Yeah, I love rabbit. Rabbit's great.
Okay. See, I'm from the city, born and raised.
Fried and in gravy. Yes.
Yeah. I've never. This is so new to me, so I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, you know, we are a cow. We just had one butchered about, what was it, Dan? 2 months ago, a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I shared half a steer with a friend of mine. His name is his channel name is Lazy Days Ahead with Lisa and Jesse.
Right.
I gave them half a steer. I made them pay for the processing because I couldn't afford to I give them half the things. I made him pay for the processing. And then we put half the steer in our freezer, which will last us probably a good year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so we have eaten goats, and we raise them up. We keep the females and we send the males to the market. And I've got 10 head of cattle out there that I've got to wean off and separate out. And And if they're over 400 pounds, I'll send them to market.
Nice.
There are over 60 people in here, almost at 70. And
Oh,
there's everybody in here's name is Homesteader. So thank everybody for being here. Thank the gardening community, the homesteading community, the bee community, all the communities for being here.
Yes.
I wish I could outgrow my chocolate allergy.
Oh man.
Mhm.
Can you eat dark chocolate? Dark chocolate usually people aren't allergic to.
I've never had rabbit, but I love to try it. It says Rio's Family Garden.
Yeah.
It's
Rabbit
good.
tastes a lot like chicken.
Everybody
At least that's what they say.
What?
I never,
It's the texture. It's really the texture.
okay,
It's like
text.
alligator. I've had alligator before. Alligator tastes like fish. It's the texture that has a little bit of different taste, but it's the way that it's flakiness on alligator. Rabbit and chicken have a little stringiness the same. You know, it's the same type of texture. Has a little bit different flavor depending on what they're eating.
Now let me ask
rabbits wild rabbit don't taste like domestic rabbit at all.
Let me ask you this, because I've heard frog legs taste like chicken.
Yep, they do. I've had them too.
What does not taste like chicken? Okay, you said
I
alligator.
know
It
everything tastes like chicken.
It didn't taste like chicken to me.
You know, like I said, it's the texture and how it's prepared.
Right.
True.
I thought I said earlier I'm an avid hunter. My wife, I've got, I don't know if you can see behind. Well, you can't see behind me, but right now, if you look on there, I've got a bunch of duck mounts. So I've done a lot of duck hunting and stuff. My wife became a really good person at cooking duck, and you know, when she first started cooking duck, it would have the texture of liver, and I didn't like it. I said, well, I'm gonna stop doing this because I don't shoot anything I'm not gonna eat.
Yes.
You know, that's just not, you know, this is protection. I'm not gonna, I'll shoot a wild dog, coyote, or whatever, a fox, or whatever, for protection of the property. But I don't go out hunting unless I'm going to eat it. I'm not one of those people who shoot it and just leave it.
Okay, so she said,
you know, and so
is it gamey?
It's got a little gamey taste to it. Like deer, it has a little gamey taste to it. There's ways to take care of it. Like if you soak deer meat in milk, it takes a lot of the gaminess away.
Or just let it sit on ice for a day.
There's all kinds of ways of making it taste better. You just got to have the secrets of doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
you got to be a good cook, number one.
Basically, yeah. My wife realized if she didn't cook the duck all the way through to that's kind of a medium rare, it came out wonderful, and it didn't taste like liver. Didn't have the texture liver. But if you overcook it, it tastes like liver.
Well, that was my biggest mistake cooking duck, because I treated it like it was a chicken.
Yeah.
And when we sit down to eat, that first 2 layers was mighty nice until you dug down deep, and you were very disappointed.
Yeah.
Because you got blood too. You cook chicken and duck totally different.
True.
I was hanging out with Sarah's Happy Hives this weekend. She was talking about venison, and it's gamey and stuff too. I don't know.
I don't ever taste it in our venison. It's so good. I love it. I love it. And Salon Diva was saying fried alligator is good. It is. I love it.
It is. Alligator is really good.
I miss having it because, you know,
Jan, I went to dinner with Jan, and I made Jan taste escargot.
Yeah. And it was good.
And she said, I can't eat that. And I said, yes, you can. Just don't think about it as being a snail. Think about it as something else to taste. At least try it. And then she tried it. She liked it. So
I was like, yeah, you couldn't even taste it, really. I was like, I can't.
It's a different thing altogether.
Is it like oysters? Like the
escargots usually taste a lot like garlic and butter. And if you like garlic and butter, you can eat escargot. It just has it has like a clam texture.
Yeah, I agree, G Mama. Somebody said liver is good if it's tender. I'm not a fan of liver.
I don't eat liver.
What?
Nope.
You don't eat liver?
Don't eat liver. Nope, not going to.
Yes, I love liver. I love liver, chicken liver, beef
My
liver.
husband doesn't eat liver, and like every holiday, I always put liver in the stuffing. He hasn't known for 20 years
Oh, I
now.
pick it out. I can taste it. I can tell the difference.
But I
I was
chunk it up
forced to-
real small because,
I was forced to eat it when I was a kid, and I hate it.
Yeah,
oh,
me too.
see,
Oh.
we were never forced to eat any. We had to taste it, and then if we didn't like it, which usually we did, we'd be like, ew, ew, ew.
Okay, we talking about all the good stuff and all that. I got a question. What would you? We got some folks on here. Like, good example, Tampa Creek. She want to leave Indiana, move to Georgia, and she want to be a homesteader. What would be some of the advice you give her starting out being a homesteader?
Oh, I got advice.
All right, listen up, Tampa Creek.
She's in here. She's driving Uber, but she's listening.
Oh, okay.
When you start a homestead, the worst mistake. Well, first of all, you want to look at taxes. That's to me like priority. And then the laws, hunting and fishing laws and things like that. We did the same thing Jerry did. And then the worst thing you could ever do is get a bunch of animals and think, I'm going to have this and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to
I
do
hear a lot
all
of
the
people say
things.
that. Mhm.
And then you hate it. And, you know, like we had 4 chickens in Texas. And when we came here, we got, I think, 15 chickens, and we built a big coop and a run, and our chickens free range. So, and then a couple of years later, I got some runner ducks, and then 2 ducks showed up on our property. I don't know where they come from, but they showed up. And so now we have 4 ducks. But, you know, that's where we stayed. We didn't do anything else. And, you know, I had cats because we live in a farm, right? And, anyway, hey, Dave. So that's my best advice. Don't go into homesteading. Learn your land. We were fortunate when we moved here. It was like a monsoon season and it rained for a month. Our closing actually was pushed back a month because they had to redo our lagoon. In Missouri, they like lagoons for your waste.
Right.
We have a well, but that's like our septic, I would suppose. And so they had to redo that. But we just saw, you know, was it going to flood here? Was it going to, what was the ground? What was the land? Huh?
Stop there for a second. The best thing is to check the land out at all 4 seasons. Don't just go there in the middle of the spring and go, or middle of fall and middle of winter and say, oh, this is a beautiful place. No, check it out in the wintertime, check it out in the fall time, check it out in the springtime, check it out in the summertime. You may find out that's not a place you really like to be. Yeah. You may, like, I knew there was tornadoes here, and we, you know, but I've talked to a lot of people when I first came here. They said, oh yeah, we haven't seen a tornado in years. Well, the very first year after we moved here, we had a tornado come through the property and destroy part of the property, which we fixed. But, you know, there's things, you know, you need to check it out. And don't, like Jan said, don't jump in head first and buy every animal that you want, because you may not have the property of the area to be able to withstand them. So
you get like one animal to start off, or?
Well, it depends on what you buy. I mean, I bought 116 acres. Well, I did research, you know, about cows. How many acres should you have, and how many cattle do you have? We're allowed. I say we're allowed, but it's recommended 1 acre or 2 acres for every mama cow and baby. So realistically, I could have 50 head here, but if I try to have 50 head, I would have to buy hay someplace else. I cut my own hay. We grow our own hay. We cut our own hay. We're all self-sufficient. You know, what I feed them all through winter time is what is grown right here on the property. I don't have to buy hay from off the property. Now, I have bought hay because I needed it, because I had, you know, ran out, or it was a bad spring or summer for growing hay, or whatever it may be. I have bought hay, but I've actually sold more hay than bought.
Mm-hmm.
So Odom
Yeah.
said to check out the restrictions and know about the restrictions.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And just don't jump in head first, because you can start drowning.
Yeah.
For me example, I'm in the city, but when you look at my videos and you look like I'm in the country. But if you look at the front of my house, I'm in the city. So when I bought this property here, I can run my whole property less than 30 seconds. My whole property, but I bought the property behind me. That's when I start getting the animals in. And I started out with 3 animals, 3 goats. I started out with 3 goats and I ended with 20 something goats.
And you don't have any restrictions there?
My only restriction is I'm not allowed to have pigs. That's my only restriction. I'm not allowed to have pigs. But other than that, cows not a problem. I got a neighbor that lives about 4 or 5 houses down. He's got 2 horses.
Yeah,
And
that's how it was in Texas. That's
all the animals we actually have in this little area right here. Is my animals and his horses. But I can have anything except for a pig. And
that's cool.
I do have another question. So Butler Family Farm has almost 120 acres of land. Simply Jan has 70 plus acres of land. J3 Farm, 17. Wow. Sorry. How many acres do you have?
5.56.
How do you guys keep up with so much land? And then the animals and just life.
The animals.
The animals.
I don't use all my property. I've got property to the side and everything. I don't use that. That's just wooded area. The only property I use is what I actually use.
Yeah.
Just because you have 100 acres, you don't use 100 acres. You use what you can manage.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead, yeah.
We rent I call it our horse pasture because I used to have horses on that pasture. Mm-hmm. So I'm on my patio, right? So over here is the horse pasture, over here is the pond pasture, and then behind us is the sheep. I call it the sheep pasture. And so we rent our land to ranchers and they put their cattle on. And last year, he brush hogged it for us. And let me tell you, it needed it so bad. And we just went out there and did it for us and blessed us because it's like $500 to have our property brush hogged. And I'm like, I'm not paying that. I'm not. Hey, Ed. But the animals take care of it now.
So on my property, I have 2 sides of the property is on highway. So I own 116.6 acres, but about 6.6 acres is actually road.
Okay.
Or it's either road or ditch. All right. So, but I actually own to the middle of the highway. In Missouri, your property lines go to the middle of the road. Mm-hmm. So, so I have 110 acres, and then I have 12 different paddocks. And each paddock is what they call intensive grazing. I do intensive grazing where I rotate my cows during the growing season. So they're on a different field every 4 to 7 days. I move them to another field. And so they don't get back on the same field again for almost 30 days.
Yeah.
So the grass gets
rotational grazing.
Right. And so it's not, and I have a creek that runs through the middle of my property too. I call it a seasonal creek. And it's fenced off so the cows stay out of that because that water that runs off my property, and it's basically starch here, runs off my property, runs into Shoal Creek, which actually is the drinking water for Joplin. So you got to keep animals out of that because you don't want the feces being in there, or the urine being in there because it has to go through. It is processed still, but they don't want you, making it even harder to clean the water.
Right.
So animals out of there.
And that's one of the reasons when Salon Diva asked about the pigs.
Mhm.
That's one of the reasons too, because pigs are so nasty and disease and all that stuff. They don't want their feces and all that stuff to go in the water system.
So can't
Mhm.
stop walking, but love the Moon Crew says, how much do you pay for a tractor, and how do you have a bush hog?
We don't
Well,
have a tractor.
Yeah, Jan didn't have one. I have two, but I bought my first one is a 45 horsepower, and it's a John Deere that I bought off of an auction. And I probably, since I bought it when I first moved here, which is in 2007, 6, 7, and I paid almost 9,000, but I probably put another $40,000 into fixing it up all the time. So when the pandemic hit, they had that. I don't even know what they call it. It was check protection or whatever, where you got some money for different things. Well, we took that money and put a down payment on a bigger tractor. So I have a 110 horsepower tractor.
Oh wow.
And I worked for a farmer for years across the street who has all the way up to 400 horsepower tractors, huge tractors. So whenever I need a tractor, if my tractor, for instance, is not started or not running, I'm able to run over there and grab one of his tractors and use it.
Okay.
And a brush hog, they're not that expensive, depending on what you buy.
Right.
Mhm.
So
I don't have a real tractor. I have a garden tractor. That's a smaller tractor than a real tractor.
Right.
Actually,
I have a riding lawnmower.
Yeah, that's what it feels like at times. I figured it was big enough for my garden, but apparently, me and my garden outgrew it. So it's just I use it just to use it, but
on our live on Monday, which we go live tonight at 5:45. The last 4 lives we did, we talked about how we met and how we bought this property. And the way I've gotten this equipment is we sacrificed. We didn't go on vacations. We didn't take the kids to Disneyland, and we didn't do any of that stuff. And we sacrificed to get where we're at.
Yeah.
My dad passed away 3 years ago, and he left me, I don't know, $60,000-$70,000, and I used it instead of going on cruises or whatever. I bought land with it. I bought materials with it. I bought a baler and a rake. I bought things that I needed to be able to do my life easier on the farm instead of. And the thing is, if you don't have equipment and you own like 100 acres and you got to pay somebody to come and cut your grass, come out and spray for you, come out and bale up your hay, or even if you do crops, you have to pay them. You don't really make any money. You barely break even.
Yeah.
And so, and another thing is you're waiting on them. And nothing against people who do that, but when I want my grass cut and mowed, I want it today. When I want it cut and mowed, not 3 weeks from now when somebody says, "Oh, yeah, I'll put you on the list."
Yeah.
When I was doing corn, I was planting the corn and I had a combine, but I didn't have a sprayer, and I hired a guy to spray, and my weeds were this tall. I said, I need you to come out and spray these weeds so the corn has a good jump on it before the weeds start coming to grow. Well, I'll be out this week. Well, 3 weeks later he came out and the weeds were like this, like this tall. And it was half the size over the corn. You couldn't even see the corn. All you could see was weeds.
Oh wow.
So it takes more chemical to spray them. It just took a lot of nutrients from the corn. And so I thought, you know what? There's a better way of doing it. I'm going to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do have a question for you guys, and we have a question in the chat. So a lot of people said, like what you said, learn the land. Where do you go to figure out where you can raise? Like you find an area where you want to live. Where do you go to find out where you can raise it? You
go to your USDA office.
Go to your city hall. They have a manual of everything that you're allowed to raise in that area, and or you can. There's another place we got over here you can go, and they'll tell you whatever you can raise.
Okay.
Starting out with a small place like that, I suggest you start with chickens.
Yeah.
You get stuff that you can handle, because one day your husband or your wife may not be there. Get something that you can handle and progress from that.
I had to get a goat. If you got,
Yeah.
you need to recommend a brush cutter. Get a goat, because goats will clean out weeds. They'll
Yeah.
eat woody stuff. They'll eat poison ivy and poison oak. You know,
Yes.
they are great at cleaning out poison ivy and poison oak. They'll clean it out, and you won't have any of it left. So,
And there will be nothing wrong with them.
right. So a
Yeah.
goat, if you got 3 acres, 1 goat, maybe 2 goats is all you'll need to clean that up. And you know, that's one reason why I have goats, is because when we bought this place, it was covered in poison oak. I mean, I'd walk outside and come in, and I'd have a rash on me already just while walking outside. So we got the goats in, and man, they cleaned it up like you wouldn't believe.
So Hard Knocks
Yeah.
Farm said, don't go to the USDA, and I'm kind of curious, like, why not?
Yeah, I don't know why I use the USDA all the time. USDA and the oh shoot, I can't brain fart now. Dang it. NRCS. They're your resources, and one thing that people may not like or dislike is that the USDA has programs you can get into, and they can help you out in things like the intensive grazing program I did was paid for by the USDA, or actually by the NRCS. They come out and they map out the place. They tell you what you need to do, and it was $55,000 that the government paid us for jumping through their little hoops, and it actually paid for all the materials that I used on the property. I have 45,000 linear feet of hot wire.
Nice.
So you know, that if I had paid it myself working $55,000, most I could afford it every year with only 5,000. If I put everything I had back into it, so it would
Miss
take
Patty.
11 years to get done.
Whistle Stop wants to know when Jan is going to get a giraffe, and good to know about the goats and the poison ivy. They don't get sick or anything from eating the
Nope.
poison ivy? Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me at all. Go ahead, Jan. Talk about
Yeah,
your
when you
giraffe.
get that giraffe.
Well, we wanted to surprise everyone, and so someone said, "Oh, you're getting giraffes," and we're like, "Yeah, that's what we're getting." And when we got our sheep, and so it was a big joke that we were getting giraffes, and so many people thought we really were getting giraffes. I'm like, no.
Wow.
So when we got them, we said, "Okay, our giraffes are here," and they were lambs back then, and so yeah, we're not getting giraffes.
Okay.
I don't think you get many giraffes in the U.S. like that unless it's at the zoo. And the only camels I know in the state is in Georgia at Fort Stewart.
So Hard Knock said that the USDA is coming after the farmers. No, don't do the government is after farmers. Is that true? Are they after you?
They're after my farm. I mean, people are going to have problems with the government. You know, if some people have problems with the government. You know, I don't have a problem with it. You know, if they want to give me money every year for not planting a certain grass, I'll take it. If they're going to give me money for putting up fencing and stuff, I'll take it, because I just don't have the money. I'm retired. I'm on Social Security.
Yeah,
You know, and I'm not about to go myself bankrupt over it. So if they're going to help me out, I'm going to take every kind of help I'm going to get. That's what the government is there for.
I think they're really after the big farmers, actually.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, I worked for a farmer he across the road from us at a farm. At that time, he farmed 12,000 acres. So, but I've never heard anything about him having problems with the government trying to take their farm and nothing like that. So, yeah, every circumstance has something.
Well, and then going back to the original question, we knew when we moved here, it was not restricted in any way, because basically if you're moving in the country, you don't have restrictions, and I wouldn't have moved anywhere if they did. Even in Texas, I don't even know. I think we could have had pigs if we wanted to, but I wouldn't have had them on a half acre, I'll tell you that. But we had horses, goats, cows, go what someone else had something else. No, I guess that was it. Horses, cows, and goats. And we lived in a HOA. So
Ooh.
yeah. And you could have chickens.
With the
and
HOA?
Huh?
You had all
Homeowners
that with the
Association.
HOA?
Yeah, we had
Homeowners
an
Association.
awesome
Yeah.
HOA. There it was I was like shocked.
I had to write a letter, like just to plant a tree in my front yard.
Wow.
See, that's one thing I told my wife. I would never live someplace that's going to tell me what color I can paint my house,
Yeah.
if I can plant a tree or not plant a tree. And that's one of the reasons why we moved to San Diego, because it was getting like that, where you had to have permission to do anything. And I thought, nah, if I want my house purple with pink polka dots, I'm going to paint it purple with pink polka dots.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to tell me I can't do it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I
I don't
understand.
like
I
HOA.
understand people have problems with government, but and like what somebody said earlier, said that we get money from them. There's ties. Well, there is. I mean, but it's things you can work with. Like we got the money for the intensive grazing program we did to put the fencing all up and stuff. And the only contract part of the whole thing is I got to do it for 10 years. After 10 years, they have no more say of what I could do, where I could do it, how I could do it, like that. So 10 years, if you think about it, it's not that long.
Mm-hmm. Well,
No, I
we had
don't.
talked about getting an agricultural license or something or whatever, not license, but and then I was like, I don't know. I'm sort of like Wendy. I don't want to. I'm not big enough. If I had a whole ton of animals, I might, but my friends have it, and I just don't want the government involved in anything any more than what they already are.
Right.
Thank you, Jan.
What is a kudzu? Anybody want to translate that?
I believe he's talking about where there is in Georgia a farmer that rents out his goats, and they put them in a certain location to clean it out of all the wild grass, you name it. They just clean the whole thing out. And,
yeah.
In California too, there's a lot of states that have farmers that rent out goats and to put them in an area, and the guy, the goat herder, stays with them the whole time, and they stay together. They just go out and clean out underbrush and
they do it here.
Keep down the fires.
Right.
Yeah, they do it here too.
I know right cart runneth over. My homeowners association would never. Like what?
Well, me and the wife let a house go in Chicago. Her father passed, and we got the house and everything, but we let it go just because it was HOA. We said we don't want nothing to do with it. We let it go.
Yeah. Hey everyone in my chat, I just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, the chat.
HOAs get a little full of themselves sometimes.
Hey, Psalms, how you doing? Super
Yeah,
nice.
it's it's a big responsibility to have animals. You got to go out when it's 3-10 below.
When you don't want to go out, you got to go out.
The worst part of it, I can handle the heat, but man, that cold. It's like you just hurry and run and get everything done, and trying to keep the animals water, from not being frozen.
Thank
My
you
wife
for the translation on am I saying it right? Kudzu and
Kudzu.
yeah, and thank you guys again for helping with the newer people who are interested in homesteading. They're getting a lot of information over here.
My wife and I kind of make a joke about it when it starts freezing. Thank God we got the tractor that has heat.
Yeah.
Get the tractor heat and cabin, and it's not as bad to go out there when the wind's blowing 20 miles an hour. If you're inside the tractor, you just have to jump out real quick and cut the bale of hay and put it out there because the cows they need to be fed no matter what. It's not as bad as when they have an open cab tractor, which I have one of them also. I started off with. When you get older, you want a little bit more warmth.
Yes.
So how much would a tractor go for? Like
Depending on how many horsepower and who makes them, and I mean, there's so many.
How many hours? It's
And
Yeah.
yeah, brand new tractors are, for like say 100 horsepower, go from as low as 57,000 all the way up to 89,000. They're more than cars.
A brand new car.
Yeah, that's
They're
all.
more than brand new cars.
Okay.
yeah,
Hey,
they can be expensive, but you can find a good used one if you know what you're looking for. You
Right.
know, we just haven't had the money to do that. So 1 year.
I admit there are some poor folks in the world.
Yeah.
I know.
But I mean, it's
Mhm.
it, depending on your circumstances, you actually benefit from the tractor if you need it.
Oh
know,
yeah. I mean, I can't
You
tell
have to
you
give
how
up
many times I wish we
a
had
new
one.
car every year or
Well,
something
that-
like that. But if you need a tractor, you need a tractor.
Yeah, well, right now, we have Toby as our donkey, and he poops a lot. So now we have to find someone to either come rake it or get a attachment for a riding lawnmower to rake it
Mhm.
and get it moved.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that later. I'll tell you where you can get our harrow that you can attach to, that's what we use, is a harrow in the fields with the horses and the donkeys out there. Even with the cows, we take a harrow and we harrow it,
Okay.
and it breaks it up, makes it into fertilizer.
Right.
Yeah, and I could put that on a riding lawnmower.
Then you put that on the back of your riding mower. Just have to tie.
Perfect.
You have to figure out something like, I put mine on my Kawasaki mule. And
Yeah.
I put it on the ball and I drag it. It's 4 foot wide, and I just drag it behind the mule and just do a lot of driving, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Hard
Cool.
Knock Farm says, for those who are interested, tractors are expensive even used. Just look for them in farm groups. Would that be like
Right.
on Facebook or just like where are the farm groups at? Where?
Facebook. What's the
Oh,
other one
I'd
that you
say
go
Facebook.
to?
Hi, Nedisnet.
We live in an Amish community, and I mean, everyone around here is farmer. So if I really wanted a tractor, I could just go knock on one of my neighbor's door and say, "Hey, man, do you know?" And I'd probably find a good one.
Almost Homesteading wants to know, do any of you homesteaders forage wild edibles?
I got wild blackberries growing all in my backyard. As far as it goes.
Blackberries, raspberries.
Blackberries, raspberries. There are mushrooms and morels. Am I saying that right? Morels. I mean, I haven't found any yet, but I don't.
Not
Problem is
here
I get so busy. I think about, like yesterday, we were talking about them, but did any of us go out in the woods and look? No, none of us went and looked into it.
We
it's
did. We don't have them.
Go out and do it.
We have wild asparagus too, and
what is wild? I love asparagus. What is wild asparagus?
It just grows. I don't know.
Oh,
Someone must have dropped the seed somewhere. I
I think it's
I
like
don't know.
a type of asparagus.
I have wild onion in my
onion, and
and
we have
Missouri's
that
really high on wild onion, and you just if you go out the right
everywhere.
time of year, you pick it. It's like green onion.
Yeah.
You can actually pick it. It's a little stronger, but
I guess you better not get one, then can't stop.
Our onions were growing in the winter, and I was like, I can't believe we're
No.
they grow. They grow in the
Oklahoma's
wintertime.
got a lot too.
Right.
They die out in the summer.
Where do you go to rent a tractor?
Good question.
Your
That's-
friend?
There's not a whole lot of companies that have tractors. Now,
Right.
I have one that's local to me that has a tractor. It's a 45 horsepower. It's like $157 a day. So, and a day to them is like you could, the day you pick it up, you get back 24 hours later, or 8 hours of actually using it. So there's not a lot of tractor equipment places around. They do have like things that, like John Deere has things where they like lease a tractor for something for so long. But
Yeah, that's expensive.
they
though.
get
Yes,
expensive.
it is.
And Dale said dandelions, goldenrod, several wild herbs. We have that here. I make tinctures out of the goldenrod.
I'm glad you said that. I was with Simply Sarah. Gosh darn it. I'm getting Simply Jane and Sarah's Happy Hives, combined. So I went to visit Sarah's Happy Hive. She gave me some tincture. And I'm scared to take it because she was like, they're like little drops that you put in your mouth.
Yeah.
And she was
You scared to take it? Did you find out what they're for?
Huh? No,
Did
I
you
don't
find
know.
out what they're for?
Oh,
Well, you need to call her back and ask her when are you supposed to take it and what is it good for. You don't just take it.
Remembered about it now that she said tincture. I was like, I have that. I didn't take it this morning. She said
there's all different kinds of tincture.
Huh?
Yep.
There's a whole bunch of different kinds of tincture for different things.
Hey, Dave.
Her reaction just kind of freaked me out. I was like, do I take
Rebecca?
like coughing and
It depends what it is.
okay.
Yeah, it depends.
We
Now
have not gotten into that part.
dehydrated dandelion for dandelion tea.
One thing about if you got a lot of birds over your property or in your property, you'll end up with so many things that you never knew about on your property.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because like passion fruit, every year I get tons of passion fruit in my backyard, and I did not plant it back there. I bought one passion fruit. It froze out sitting in the front yard. I never planted anything in the back, but every year I get passion fruit.
Oh, I wish I had it.
Yeah, you want some? Come down here and I'll let you pick it out of the garden.
Okay. Well, when I come, I will.
So I mean, yeah, we got passion fruit too, all over the place. But morning glory. If like when I was planting corn, we had morning glory like you wouldn't believe in the corn.
It took over our garden last year. The birds dropped the seeds, and I mean, they were everywhere.
Hey, sunshine.
You don't want them in your garden, I'll tell you that.
You don't want morning glory any place you don't want it.
Yeah.
Hey, DCBs, what's up?
Thank y'all for helping me with this lot. We have like over 80 people in here. So I'm trying to. Also, I just wanted to put out a little side note. Tomorrow on this channel, Miss T with the T, we're going to be giving my 4K giveaway. I have like tons of people's honey. We have J3GS honey, Soil Sister, possibly Don't Hurt the Harvest. We have a lot of honey here, seeds and gifts and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Wow. How cool.
Thank everybody for donating honey. Hey, let me see. Regarding tractors, here we are all helping.
Okay, Wendy.
Time, equipment, food, we grow.
Oh. So many great channels in here.
I know.
Yes.
Fresh and Fire. This country girl here used forage as a kid. Need to get back into it. The translation forage. Anybody
looking?
Yeah.
Looking for
forage,
fruits, vegetables, wild vegetables and stuff in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
Things you don't plant.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can
like
eat it.
We have nettle here. I don't harvest it. I'll be out in the garden because it's everywhere, and I'll just take a leaf and eat it. It's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Just your local. I mean, you're out there in the yard, just the leaf.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Everywhere.
As long as you don't spray it, you're okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't spray. So, and then what else do we have? I grow nasturtiums because I like to eat the flower. It's like a peppery flavor. So good. There's so many flowers that are beneficial and that you can eat, and plus they're pollinators. So I love gardening. The garden is my happy place. I love it.
I will try it, and Dale. You do love the gardening. I did love it when I did it last year.
Yeah.
So what are the things to look for and consider to make sure it's not like poisonous or anything like this? I don't want to just put something in my mouth like, oh, okay, I got poison ivy.
I'm gonna tell you one of the tricks I learned when I was in the military. when you run across a piece of something and you think it's a food, but you're not sure, you take it, you just bust it, let a little bit of the juice come out, and you rub it on the bottom of your lip. You rub it on the bottom of your lip. And if it start itching and all that stuff, do not eat it.
Oh,
It's gonna break your lip out.
Well, that's a way of you not getting broke out because it irritate the bottom of your lip. So once it start irritating, you wash it off or whatever. But if it irritates your lip, do not eat it.
David's
And
in
just remember, if it has 3 leaves, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She made it with Everclear, the tincture she gave me. Sorry. She's trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Or get you drunk.
That's
I'm sorry.
funny.
What kind of advice do you have, Butler Family Farm?
I'm sorry.
For to make sure it's not poisonous. I'm not sure what's edible and what's not edible out there.
I'd say, there's an app on your phone you can use and take a picture of the plant. I've used it before, and it comes back and it's pretty close to being accurate of what the plant is.
I got 2 or 3. I got 2 or 3 books right here too. I don't want to knock all my other books down to pull them out, but it's on all wild edible plants.
Yep. I mean, just know your research.
Yeah.
Research.
I mean, homesteading is like 90% research.
Yep.
And 10% knowledge.
Christy says
for reminding me. Okay, anti-inflammatory. I will take it today, Sarah. I promise. Sorry, what's the
plants, weeds, wild mushrooms. Yeah, you got to be careful about mushrooms. I mean, we have a lot that grow here. They pop up new every year, something new.
Mushrooms. I used to run PP on Fort Stewart, and this white guy. I always said it was strange anyway because he'll pick up something and start eating it. And to me, I thought it was snake eggs the way that I knew snakes and stuff. And I said, man, you just constantly putting that mess in your mouth. And he was picking up mushrooms. It looked like, to me, it was looking like snake eggs, but he was picking up mushrooms and he just brushed it off, throw it in the mouth. We keep running.
Thanks, Ann.
Thank you. Wow. And Jerry down there is Butler Family Farm. There we go. Yeah, I'm not good with the first name thing. Like a lot of people just be like, hey, that's Kim. That's such. I'm like, who?
Well, when you get my age, it's good because it helps you, stay sharp up there.
So anyone, Cowboys, no money, no.
Am I the only youngster up here?
Yeah.
Probably. I think Jan's a little bit older than me, I think.
Yeah.
Now I got to get to the age thing. How old are we now?
Hi, Nona.
Edible.
Well, I'm 60. I'll be 67 this month in 15 days.
Oh, you're older than me. Woo-hoo.
Okay, I'm the oldest. I turned 67 on the 19th of this month.
19th of this month?
67 in June.
Yeah. I turned 63 the 24th of this month.
Oh.
Let me see. So look into this. The government is dreaming certain wild herbs as invasive and illegal to grow on your own farm. Each state is different. Big Pharma doesn't anticipate us to have access to.
Right.
Yeah.
And they don't want us to have access to.
Come on. Let's try.
Well, at that part, Missouri has Johnson grass, which is very invasive, and they don't want you growing it because if it's stressed out, it becomes poisonous. So unless you know what you're doing with it, you can kill your animals by letting your animals eat it at the wrong time of the year. Like for instance, if Johnson grass has been stressed, like no rain for a couple of weeks, it'll still grow. But then we have a rain, and then when the rain comes, the next 3 days after the rain, that Johnson grass is poisonous. It will get a white powdery substance on it, and that becomes poisonous. And your cows eat it, it'll kill them.
Yeah.
But one good thing about animals basically know what to eat and what not to eat.
Pretty much, but on the Johnson grass, they'll eat it even if it's poisonous. They can't. There's no smell to it. No different smell.
Sammy Joe's making fun of me because when I grew last year, they was like, just eat it, just pick it off and eat it. I was like, no, we got to go in the house and wash this off. So it kind of freaked me out when Simply Jan was like, just go outside, eat the leaves.
Yeah. Well, as long as there's not any dirt on it,
Yeah, just wipe it off on your shirt. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
That helps your immune system. Dirt's
That's right.
good. Yeah, I
Well,
used to
You
eat a
got a
lot
bug
of
on
dirt
your
growing up.
camera.
Like I said, none of my okra ever made it into the house.
Wow.
I eat it
Oh,
in the
yeah.
yard. I get it, pop it off, put it in my pocket, and eat it while I'm doing what I'm doing.
Hold on.
Oh.
Question. Do you guys walk outside barefoot?
Yeah.
All the
No,
time.
What?
no.
Yeah, because in Texas you couldn't do it. They had all these cockle spurs that would annihilate your body. And here we don't have them. We don't have red ants. So I ground all the time in the summer. Not right now because I'm a snowflake and
Got a
it's
little fly.
cold.
A fly or bee came across the screen.
This
Mm,
blows my mind. It's like,
Oh, I got a fly.
My feet are tender.
Go away, fly.
I go barefoot 90% of the time.
wow.
Now I'll put on shoes to go outside to work, or drive the tractors like that. Or it could be sandals, could be slippers.
Yeah, plantain is good.
You see, my property is different than Jan's. I have no rock here. Jan has rock at her place. If you find a rock at my place, it's a prize. You bring it to the house, you sit next to the door, because there's very little rock on their place. It's all soil 5 feet deep.
I have roots. I have a lot of roots.
I have a grounding mat.
By the garden, but not like where we plant. Well, I did pull up a lot of rock out of the garden. We're redoing our whole garden this year, and well, it's basically done. All we have to do is get the fence up. So it's very exciting.
Okay.
Hello, Fisher Jamil. How you doing?
AJ Mia, G-Mama grows hard in the garden. She's eating now more flowers than ever thought she would.
Oh yeah,
I might get there one day. I might.
Yeah. Oh, there's Nikki. Hi, Nikki.
You guys got me out there with the bees and stuff now, so baby steps.
It was a fly, Rebecca. All the flies.
Latex allergies need to be really careful with some plants. Okay.
I've never ever had a problem with anything getting on my foot or my feet, but you have to use wisdom. Keep your feet clean, and I think you'll be okay.
Okay. I'm scared of eating stuff. I'm scared of stuff crawling on me. Yeah, all that stuff, all the above.
That is typical city.
You showed that with the bees yesterday.
Yeah. The tinctures.
I want bees, but my
little
husband
steps at a
doesn't.
time.
Hey, I'm biased. How you doing, Queen?
Oh, most of the tinctures are made with alcohol. Is that why? Because Sarah was like, I was like, oh, you want me to take this as well? Oh.
Yeah.
Not rubbing alcohol.
Like
this
alcohol.
Is drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, see, there was no label.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Just like when you're doing vanilla, you can use vodka, or I think some people use something else, but I've never done vanilla, so I don't know.
Okay, it's not enough to get me drunk. Good to know.
Right. You're only doing a drop or two.
Ah!
That's funny.
I
I actually my computer's sitting on the complete language of herbs book and the complete language of food and a taco making book. It's got all sorts of goodness in it, and recipes, and tells you all about the herbs and their origin. It's amazing.
I'm looking at the same thing. The herb medicines, wild plants, backyard medicine, prepper, survival medicine, some other stuff. I got a whole bunch of books right there.
So this is some
Yeah.
good information. Fresh and Fire wants some links. So on my channel, Miss T with the T, if you want to drop your link, it's MST to drop your link. Simply Jan, do you have some?
I don't have my
You
set
just
up
got
or
gay.
anything.
Brother
I
Family
can-
Farm, do you have anything?
On our channel is BFF.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
And that's what it is. Butler Family Farm, BFF.
Here, I'll go over to your live and copy my link for everyone if they want it. Let me
Wayne's
find it.
World.
Let's see.
Mushrooms can be more difficult to identify. I don't even like mushrooms, so won't have to worry about me trying those out. You know?
I love mushrooms. Oh my goodness.
So I.
I don't have enough knowledge on them, says Christy Betts.
Okay, where are you? I know I'm on your live, so
I am Wendy, says Hard Knock. Okay. I love mushrooms. I love onions. Onions and garlic is delicious. Mushrooms, not so much.
Okay, let me pull you up.
If you saying me too, is it me too? I walk outside barefoot. Oh my, or me too. I don't like things crawling on me. Well,
And Dale walks outside barefoot. I've seen
There,
it.
there go my link in the chat.
I know when we was over there with Sarah's Happy Hives and the bees started crawling on my hand. I said, "Up, time to go inside." That's enough.
That's funny.
That's
That's
why I don't
called
know
being a
about the
chicken,
whole-
Miss.
Okay.
That's called being a chicken, Miss T. It's called being a chicken.
All right, there's my link coming your way. Right there.
Is that the sound of a chicken?
Yeah, you
The scared
did it.
one, yes. The scared one, yes.
Okay, Leah Honeystead is an herbalist and forager.
No, that's a lot of
Honeystead.
mushrooms.
Okay, I'm gonna check that channel out. Thank you, DC. Honeystead. We're gonna see if we can get Honeystead on the channel.
Well, what do I have to put? I'm not a moderator, so it won't-
MST.
MST. Yeah.
MST. Okay, there you go.
YouTube. We're gonna have to try to see if we can get Honeystead on here. Let me see what else we got up in here.
All right.
When
Done.
in June. Taught us what to eat. Do your own research, and if you are on prescription medication, check with your doctor or pharmacist. Some herbs can interact. Good advice.
Yeah. Yeah, don't just take them to take them.
Christy said, "I am your elder, Jerry."
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh yeah, by 7 days.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody's older than me.
Nana Grace will be 72. Wow, blessings to you.
yes.
Nona can run circles around all of us, man.
It's like my wife. She's 70, and she, you look at her. The guy the other day said, your wife is awfully young." I said, "She's 70." He goes, "No way, she can't be over 50." I said, "I'm telling you, she's 70." He argued with me over it long. I thought, dude, I've been married to her for 40 years.
It's that country life, right?
Yeah.
That country life for the young.
When we moved here, we said that we wanted to, the reason we bought here is that we wanted to stay busy. We wanted to have something to do when we're retired. And on the farm, there's always something to be done.
Yes.
Oh,
I can believe it. You have over 100 acres of land. There's always
there's trees to clean up. There's fence to repair. There's always something that you want to make better. So
Right.
and so you've always got something to do. If you choose to do it or not, that's up to you. But there's things to do. Like I got a video that is going to pop here in another 30 minutes or so, 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock your time, and it shows we cleaned up storm damage from last fall,
Mhm.
and we finally cleaned it up just yesterday, this weekend.
It's a thing.
And because my wife said, "Well, let's go on and clean that up." And I said, "I don't want to clean it up with all the leaves and stuff. Let's wait till the leaves go off. We can see it better."
Yeah.
And so we did. So on the farm, you can choose to pick what you want to do when you want to do it. Now, if it's something like water lines been breaking or freezing or like that, that's no longer a choice. You have to do that.
Yes.
Netta, we must be related. She said boots always. Okay. The fear factor. I don't even need to go on the actual fear factor show and eat the roaches. I'm scared with just what's outside in my own backyard.
Little time. You need to take one thing at a time to get used to it.
Let's just start there.
Yeah. Miss T, it takes you one time. Let me see. Getting stung one time and you'll say you're used to it.
Man,
so just that's all it takes.
I was like, I got stung. Like it was no problem. Here we go.
That's it.
Well, as long as you didn't swell up, that's all you know. That's my problem. I get stung, I swell up.
Oh, okay.
It's good to have a healthy fear of some things, but not to let fear consume you.
Right.
Because then you're dominated by it, you know. And that's another part of homesteading. You gotta step out and take a risk, and yeah. Okay, I can do this. I can get a donkey. Jerry gave us the donkey, and I can get sheep. Okay, I can do this. Now I'm getting a ram, and now I'm nervous, you know, but I know I've got it. I can do it. I'm gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine.
Sammy,
I have a fear
in Canada says she walks barefoot even in the mud.
Yeah, my friend walks barefoot.
It might be for your toes. Yeah, I don't have a fear of heights. I have a fear of falling. You know, it's not the height problem. It's that falling and that sudden stop at the bottom is what I don't like the idea of. So I'm okay if I'm on a sky lift or up in a tree stand, as long as I am tethered in. I'm okay. But if I'm not tethered in, I got white knuckles. Grab a hold of hanging on to something. I just don't like the idea of possibly falling.
See, like I don't know my age because I'm like a monkey, man. I'll get up on the roof, I'll get up in a tree, you know, and then I'm up there and I'm like, you know, you're 66 years old, right? You know.
Yeah,
and my sister,
I ain't got
like,
no monkey
I
in
showed
me.
her the video, she has a heart attack. She's like, what are you doing? Well, it's got to be done, you know.
All right.
So
I get it done, but I don't take no risk.
well,
Garden said, grounding is good for you, but I don't walk around just close to the house. We have venomous snakes. I go barefoot as much as possible, and I garden in flip. I can do flip flops.
I have flip flops,
but just barefoot, just like skin to pavement or dirt soil.
That's where you don't want to, like, I'm not going to walk on a paved road or sidewalk, or, you know, you want to ground in the dirt because there's good things that energize your body, and I'm struggling for the word I'm looking for, but anyway, it's good things. You have minerals in the ground that provide goodness for your body, through your feet. You know, it comes through your feet. Help me, y'all. You know what I'm saying, right?
Absorbs. Your feet absorb certain minerals.
Yes, that's yeah.
It's like these. I'm sure you've seen these little things. They say take an onion and cut an onion and put it in your sock, and at night and the next morning it takes the toxins out. Well, your feet are really a good source of everything. You can headaches from it, and back pains you can remove from it from rubbing certain areas. So your feet can absorb the good minerals that you need.
Since we're talking about feet and stuff, I got some castor oil, and I rub my whole between my toes, the bottom of my foot, top of my feet, put some socks on, got in the bed, and feet haven't hurt yet.
Oh yeah, I've heard of people doing that too.
My wife and I, when we kids are younger, they get a fever. We take a towel, pour white vinegar on it, and wrap their feet in the towel, and it would take their fever away. And the towel would actually turn purple from the fever being pulled out of their feet.
Wow.
So we pass that on. That's an old old folk remedy type thing, and we pass that on to everybody we can know that if you get somebody who's got a fever, like you got to worry about kids getting fevers and they get the 101, 102, 103. You got to start worrying about that. Well, you wrap their feet in vinegar, a towel with vinegar, and within a couple hours, their fever's completely gone.
Wow, that is interesting. So, Sarah, I want to give much love and respect to you because that live stream, that 40-minute live stream, it's got over 1,000 views. Just us out there, Sarah's Happy Hives house, messing with the bees. I was like, wow, I risked my life. Cool. We got 1,000 views.
Right. I think my top viewed video I ever made was when I did beef jerky 3 years ago or so. And it's like, wow. And I had just got a Cabela dehydrator and I did like 3 or 4 different recipes out of the book they sent. Like, wow.
I have one video that's got 21,000 views. It's just me out there trimming the goat husks and feeding the cows.
I know, Jamie. She said it's called worms.
Yeah,
Oh goodness.
Hey, Sweet Thumb. How
De-
you
Depends on which mushroom you're talking about, Nikki.
Mine was going to prior.
I almost going to jail. What do you almost go to jail for?
Yeah.
Nice guy like you. I can't believe you cause rowdiness.
Yeah. Nona uses a castor oil on her face too. Cool.
For those who are interested, there's all our channels right there. Oh, you changed it. There we go. Butler Family Farm. I miss T with the T. Simply Jan and J3GS Farms.
There you go.
Let me see. Yeah. The Northwest has a lot of mushroom hunters. I've heard about mushroom hunters. Like, that is really a thing.
Yep, yes, it is.
Now, I don't know if morels grow everywhere. I just know they grow in Missouri a lot. I don't know if they grow in other states or not. I have no idea.
Yeah, people are so protective over where they find them. Now, our friend goes to Iowa. He gets tons of them. But, around here, we're like, where are they? And we've looked at the preserves and the parks and our land. I think I'm going to get some spores and just plant them so we'll have them here. Because morels are supposed to be really good. I've never tried one, but
my daughter-in-law there yesterday was saying, we were talking about her. She said, I've never had one. She looked at me, she says, you've never had one? I went, no. Well, I used to go hunting for them all the time. I'll find you some. I said, great. Go out there and get it.
That would be lovely.
Let's see. But ticks and snakes are coming out. See? Good morning. Happy Monday, Miss Kirkland. Miss Kirkland.
Yeah,
well, that's why I always take my 410 with me for the snakes.
Yeah. I have a snake grabber and then my pew. So
my 410 is my snake grabber.
Well, I don't shoot snakes that are poisonous.
I don't care whether it's poisonous or not. It has no business being on my property.
I try to keep the rat snakes around because we have, 116 acres. You have mice and rats and things that you don't want in your house, and the snakes will actually eat them away.
Oh yeah, they're good. They're good. We have a big maple tree in our front yard, and we'll see a big old black snake going up, and they're going to, because the birds will make nests in the tree, and they're going to get the eggs, and then our dogs go nuts. Yeah,
I just don't like them in the chicken coop. They eat eggs in the chicken coop.
Yeah, we've never had them in there, but one time after we had been here not even a year, and I walked out to the garage, and there's a 6-foot black snake right in front of my truck, and the truck was in the garage, and I'm marking with my friend. She's there like, shoot it, and I go, my truck's right there. No, I'm like, I don't want to blow up my gas tank.
Okay. Hard Knock Farm, Wendy. I love so many of you. The farm is so busy this time of year. I may not watch as much, but I still love you. That is so sweet.
Oh,
Hey,
we love you too, Wendy. She's such a great person. Yeah.
Well, my youngest isn't afraid of snakes. He'll go out and pick up a 6-foot black snake, and they don't think twice about it. My wife takes off and runs the other way, and she won't stop until she can't see the snake anymore.
Oh wow. Wow.
She is. That's her petrified. She's petrified of snakes. She can't even
Oh.
watch them on TV. She
Thank
gets
you.
she
Can't
gets
even watch
woozy
them
if she watches them on TV.
Wow. Thank you.
My
sweet.
mother would have nightmares if she
I had an auntie I used to do that
if
too.
you even said snake.
I would go get the encyclopedia with the snakes. Whenever she would bother me, I would take it and just show it to her. She'd go running.
Yep,
Yep.
that's how
I
my wife is
remember
the same way.
my
Don't like snakes.
what was it, National Geographic? They had something with snake on, and my dad knew. Click off immediately. And well, my mom caught that snake, and that night, all we hear is Frank, Frank. She's just having a nightmare, and so my dad woke her up, and he's like, "What were you dreaming about?" And she goes, "Oh, that dang snake."
I'm sorry, we have to pause for a moment. Does anybody have any confetti or anything? Because official 1SP wants. Anybody have any balloons or anything?
I don't have that app.
Hey Kenneth, how you doing, sir? There's Kenneth. Let's see. This is my second year gardening.
Yeah.
I'm still running giant Mississippi bugs on steroids.
Yeah.
Going back.
Here you go. Here's some balloons and confetti. That's all I got.
Hey Oliver, how you doing? Everybody.
Oh, yeah. So it's about gardening time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
my plum tree is just loaded full of
Oh.
flowers.
Yeah, our pear tree is. Our apple tree's okay. Our elderberries they're coming on. Everything. I'm just so excited about it.
I got 6 nut trees to go put in the ground.
What kind of tree?
Oh, nice.
What kind of nut trees did you buy?
Nut tree, pecan.
Pecan?
We
The
have
only problem,
two.
I wasn't paying much attention to it, and it's what is this I got? The Elliott, and their pecans are small, but hey, get enough of them, you'll be happy.
Well, 2 years ago, I kept seeing pecans on the ground behind the house. And I was like, where are those pecans? Are the squirrels bringing it in? And I look, and we've got a pecan tree back there. And then this year, up by our driveway, I see all these squirrels. We don't usually have a lot of squirrels on the property, but there were so many squirrels. So I walk over there and I look, and we got another pecan tree, and I'm like, hot dog, that's awesome. But they're small pecans. Maybe they'll get bigger, but they were so good.
We have a lot of black walnut trees on the property.
Yeah,
I don't want that. I don't want
And
the
I'm gonna tap the black walnut trees next year and make syrup out of them.
Okay.
all right.
that'll be interesting. We've got them. I just don't want them.
The black walnut is too hard to be cracking.
Yeah, no.
I don't mess with that stuff. We just let them drop the walnuts. We don't collect them. I told my grandson he could collect them and put them in the back of my truck, and I take them over for him. He can cash them in, but I said I'm not going to bend over pick up walnuts all day long.
No.
There's
You
a
don't
new way
make
of
a
doing
lot.
things now. You get the pecan rake, you roll it over, pick it all up,
Yeah.
let's
Roll
open
it,
up, dump it out.
Yeah, we told one of the farmers here last year, or no, it was a guy who we got wood from. Anyway, we told him, we said, man, we got a bunch
Have
of
a
black
good one, Salon
pecan.
Diva.
You can come cut that tree down and have it. I'm not even going to sell it to you. You can have it. But he never came and got it. So, but we've got a lot of them, more now than, I don't know, they just mass produce.
Oh, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I'm letting them talk, and I'm just over here like reading the chat. It's like, but yeah, I am about to run off. I am. That time is coming.
You got a good 17 minutes.
Yeah.
How long have we been on? Hour and 20.
Hour and 27 minutes.
Yeah, hour and a half.
Yeah.
And we like it to go to about 12 o'clock.
So we are like towards the end. So like towards the end, we try to let people know like today's Monday. Do you guys know of anybody who's going live on Monday so we can share them out? Okay, Butler Family Farm.
At 5:45 tonight, Central Time, we go live.
So that'll be
Yeah.
6:45.
Yeah, 6:45 your time. You were on our live last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
We
and
go
tonight-
live on
tonight we're gonna
Friday
find
at
out-
6.
I'm sorry, Jan.
I was just saying we go live at Friday at
Yeah.
6.
Tonight we find out who remembers the secret password from last week to see who wins the.
Oh, I got
pin.
it sitting
And
on
here's the
my
pin right here.
ottoman.
Here's the pin right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
he makes those.
Let me zoom in. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah, I made pins.
Eight.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
That's
Well,
made
what-
out of holly.
After we get off here, I'm
that's what
going
we're giving away
outside. I got
tonight.
a bunch of work I need to get done. And I got them beehives. I got to get them squared away because I got bees coming around the 15th of this month. I got to hurry up and get them hives built.
Mm.
That's okay, Wendy. Hey, do you find in the are you where it's cold?
Me? I'm in
No,
Indiana.
Jade.
Oh.
Me, I'm in Georgia.
Oh, you're in okay. So do you have sometimes you have cold winters, right?
Yeah, not too bad though.
You don't do you have issues with the bees leaving or?
Yeah, some swarm, but my bees, last month when we had that cold spell, all my bees died out. It was that cold.
Oh wow!
So,
So how do you get a new swarm? Oh yeah, Kathleen goes live in a minute. My Alabama Farm Life. Sorry.
Head down. Okay.
I'm getting some nooks on the 15th, which in other words, I'm buying some bees.
Okay. Do you buy them from a local person?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because it's better to have local. Okay.
Now, I'm going to ask you real quick. Who are you going to the Soils Expo?
I will be there.
I'll be there too.
So okay, my Alabama Farm Life is about to go live, and then Cook and Vibe with Anne-Marie Love will be going live in about 3 hours.
Okay.
Butler Family Farm up here will be going live at 5:45 Central Standard Time. I think I wrote everybody down. Is there anybody else going live?
I think Bias goes live at 4:30.
Central.
It's 4:30 Eastern for us, I believe. But she's Central.
You know, I used to be able to keep up with all this, but now that like we're almost at 4,500, I'm like, yeah, it's getting a little bit harder to remember.
Harder.
You need to put that board back on the wall and
I
start
know.
writing stuff down.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I do want to thank everybody for coming in. Tomorrow, we have a giveaway. We're giving away some honey. I have more honey. It's just I got to put everything together. We have seeds. We have somebody's donating. They hand make organic soaps. So we're going to have some organic soaps, all that kind of stuff tomorrow. So that is tomorrow. Hope to see everybody in these YouTube streets. I know Alabama, when she said in 1 minute, she really meant like 1 minute. Like she's about to go live like right now. Or do we still have time?
Well, thank you so much for having us on, and you had some great questions. And I want you to grow something this year, Miss T.
Right.
Well,
Even if it's in a pot.
In that soil.
I am. I put my hands in the soil, but I don't know about my feet just yet. But
Yeah.
you know, that's somewhere.
You can always grow potatoes in buckets. My wife has done it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have potatoes.
I
Okay,
wanted
good question
to
right
get
here.
a bunch of sunflower varieties. Where can I? Baker Creek.
Oh, you can. Yeah, you can.
You can order sunflower seeds from Baker Creek.
Okay.
I'm buying a different sunflower this year, and it is one you do not put in the garden. Like, I've always grown my sunflowers in the garden, but I've got 3 tires. And the reason being is it's like an insecticide sunflower. So when the bugs crawl up to eat, they die, but the bees don't die. It's like the bees are immune from it. And they said, just make sure that you grow it outside of the garden. And white daisies. And I got something else. I've been going down rabbit holes because sometimes the bugs can just be insatiable around here in our garden. And I'm done. I'm done fighting with them.
I could never figure out how to eat sunflower seeds. I just let that go.
You crack it. You
But
crack.
it's so small.
The best time to eat it. The best time to eat is when you're driving.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't mess with it. And then it's so small. I'm like, no, give me pistachios.
You gotta get the giant ones.
Yeah.
The meat isn't any. I mean, if you can't get the meat out, it's not worth it.
The small ones are good too, Miss T. And there's no pause in this whole conversation.
Mhm.
Shout out to the people who can just sit there and put like 5 or 6 or whatever in their mouth and just go.
Oh yeah, baseball players do it all the
Me too.
time.
When I'm driving long distance, I'll load up my jaw, got my little bottle on the side, and crack.
That's that straight
It's like chewing tobacco.
country.
Yeah.
There.
I did that when I quit smoking. I started chewing sunflower seeds,
Yeah.
especially driving.
That part. Too much work for some tiny little seeds. That part exactly.
Well, you ain't got nothing else to do if you're driving but driving.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep yourself active.
The only thing you have to watch out for is, when they're salted, which why wouldn't you eat it salted? But, it'll wear on your skin and your mouth.
Yeah, it makes it raw a little bit.
Makes it raw, yeah. So,
So I'm gonna spit the seed out.
Like anything else, you got to build an immunity to it.
yeah.
Thank you, OCD, for dropping Alabama's link. And yeah, I'm about to nibble on something real quick and then go to Alabama.
All right.
Well,
Let's go to Alabama.
We closing it out, but we
Thank
want to
you.
thank Miss T. And for all you beginning homesteaders, hey, check this stuff out. Make sure you get your good information, check the community in and everything, and get information for what you want to do.
If anybody has any questions about it, they can always email me and I'll be more than happy to respond.
Here too. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, it was fun live. I appreciate it.
No
Yep.
problem. I enjoy having you
It was
guys.
worth getting up an extra hour earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least I, had something to do. It's like,
Yep.
Well,
Now we
thank
can
you.
go take a nap.
No, you gotta go to
now I
Alabama.
got to go over to Alabama.
Nah, I got to go
Driving
outside
to
and get some work
Alabama.
done.
You got 10 minutes and then come back in and see Alabama.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I've got a fence to put up too, so
Get that fence up in about 10 minutes and
I got trees and beehives to make.
I'm just messing
Oh,
with you guys.
goodness.
I got to make more pins for the soil expo, so I'll have them
Oh,
they will
yeah.
sell there.
Yeah.
I'm going to make another 40 or 50 of them. I can.
Yeah.
Did you notify them yet? You gonna have a spot inside?
Yeah. Sherry and I talk all the time.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I met her last year at Pedals of the Past.
Okay.
Are you gonna have a setup, Jigs?
Yes, I am.
Because everybody's asking about your honey. So that's
Everybody, never mind.
yes, we have guests. Well, thank y'all. I'm gonna get ready to go to Alabama.
All right, y'all have a blessed day.